I mean, there's gotta be something that is completely different. And that baby mode is working beautifully. Crazy downhill, wow. So for the first time ever, implemented on this car is both of the cars come with RSPA2, meaning you can pull the car in and out using a remote key fob. Tucson hybrid test drive, let's go. All right, so I am inside 2026 Hyundai Tucson facelift hybrid, and that muscle memory is super fresh with me because I have only been driving 2026 Ghia Sportage facelift hybrid for the past 5 days, over 500 to 600 kilometers, and I am driving this Tucson. Right off the bat, one thing most definitely noticeable is this column type shifter when it comes to Tucson versus the rotary type that Ghia Sportage facelifts get. So this versus that. I think the winner is quite clear on this one because you get more space having your shifters attached right behind the steering wheel, whereas having one on the rotary type. The pros of the rotary type, I would say, is that we are a little more used to getting our hands over here because the conventional gear shifters and the lever selectors, we just have it all here. Just pull it down, put it to the drive. Honestly, you're gonna get used to this in no time. Having test driven numerous Hyundai cars, this hands down is the winner, I would say. Well, easy to access, you get more space in the center console, which is converted into more space in the middle. So there's a wireless smartphone charger here. I should make a good use of it actually. You can see that the indicators would light up here. It doesn't necessarily show you the status of charge, by the way, so do not be confused. It is just telling that the phone is being charged. A dedicated slot for the smartphone. Other frequently used buttons are physical, which is also a plus. A takeaway here is that Hyundai Tucson still has this piano black, which a lot of people scolded. Well, number one, because it's really prone to scratches, and this high gloss finish, when it gets scratched, it really stands out a lot. Let me put it that way. When you have the sunlight directly striking this off. However, there's also a benefit of having the piano black. If you keep a good condition of the center console, it's going to remain super bling bling. Like this right here. Pardon my cup, I just had a cup of coffee. So this is the wireless charging pad that I told you about, and the beautiful piano black, as well as the interior and 10.25-inch monitors. The drive mode selection is different. It was attached on the steering wheel for the Sportage, but it's right here for Tucson. And let's actually do some quick pull, see what this car's got to offer. Essentially, the layout, the interior of this car is pretty much the same, almost want to say identical to that of the gasoline model, due to the nature being, which also is the case with Ghia Sportage facelift as well, except for the fact that these paddle shifters would work as paddle shifters. So use the paddle shifters gear selections. That's because we're in the sport mode, but put it into eco or other modes, you can actually control that level of the regen brake, as you can see right here. So you can set it to all the way up to level 1, 2, 3, or hold the right button for a few seconds. It will turn into auto, where you can also change the level of the regen brake, the strength of that auto regen brake. I've been driving without the regen brakes on, so just like that with Ghia Sportage. So I'm gonna do the same, see what the difference is there with this Hyundai Tucson facelift and Ghia Sportage facelift. There we go. Don't want to go too crazy. So the power is there, as you can see. The power is certainly there. Let let me make it clear one more time. The cars I am test driving back to back today, which are the hybrids of Tucson and Sportage, they both have the exactly same powertrain, meaning they have 1.6 turbo together with 6-speed automatic, and no wonder they feel the same. That's what I was going to point out. When I just floored the car, I didn't really notice all that much of a difference, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, they feel quite similar, and it just came to my attention, realization that they are the same car indeed when it comes to the powertrain. So looking out the windshield, I do get the same HUD heads-up display, crisp and vivid, precisely the same thing as to that of the Kia Sportages. This interior-wise, both cars are equipped with CCNC, the latest infotainment tech from Hyundai Motor Group cars, which stands for Connected Car Navigation Cockpit, having dual 12.3-inch monitors right and left, and it has great rear view cams, clear, vivid, crisp, gets the job done. Both of the cars come with RSPA2, meaning you can pull the car in and out using a remote key fob. The steering wheel actually does give me quite a different vibe though. It is actually curved inwards, or maybe it's shooting out that way with the spokes, meaning you have to press in the button relatively more than Sportages because it's actually the other way around for Sportage. The middle portion stands out higher, taller than the outer edges when it comes to Sportage, so you feel like you're pressing down the buttons at an angle, whereas it is that typical 3-spoke wheel with negative offset. I mean, you can probably see from the video and cam, you see how the handles are angled inwards. There is no Hyundai logo on Tucson facelift. It only has 4 dots in the middle, 4 dots, Morse code for letter H, H for Hyundai. If it's full electric vehicle, you will see pixels instead of the circular dots. Ironically, the steering wheel is where I'm getting the biggest difference, be it both the grip wise and also operating the buttons wise. Also the HVAC underneath, I personally would prefer this because there are a lot of physical buttons here and frequently used buttons. I really like the fact that frequently used buttons are physical. AC vents and HVAC related are button types. So I guess with this is a 50-50 actually. I really liked Sportage's buttons for the heated and ventilated seats right here. So during the cold winter season like this, I would actually hop in, press on the 3 buttons using my 3 fingers. I can actually turn on heated seats for both of the seats and the steering wheel at a push of a button, whereas I would have to press on here and then here and then here again to activate the heated seats for the passenger seat. I mean, some of you guys might point out and say that it's a little bit too much of me trying a little too hard to find the difference, but that's what this video is about, right? So these things are miscellaneous thing, maybe you could put it that way. However, it is definitely one of the biggest differences I can point out immediately. As for the center console, due to the column type shifters that I have told you about at the start of the video, there is more space in the middle and not just the front portion, yet there is more space underneath right here. So less frequently used items, it can be placed right here. Honestly speaking, the interior space I got with Sportage facelift wasn't bad at all. I wouldn't really complain about it. I didn't. I was perfectly okay traveling with my wife Duma on a long distance drive, no problem whatsoever, because I get a lot of space in the center mount console. Experiencing this gigantic space in the center tunnel, hands down, Tucson is a clear winner here. And speaking of which, this center mount console right here is relatively flatter and wider than Sportage's. And when making turns, as you can see, the both of the cars get BVM blind spot view monitor, offering secondary aid, digital aid out the window, using that right there just like so, so you can see how clear and vivid. You can see it on the right as well, just like so. And thanks to that VVM, the car also is equipped with surround view cam using this, which is the same thing for Sportage. And this car, test drive car I have, is brand new. It only has 50 kilometers on it. So anyhow, the fuel economy the car is giving me is 12.3 kilometers per liter. You will certainly get that suggested fuel economy. I don't think I am supposed to come down this way, and I think I am in big trouble. But this 360 view cam should help me out, and I have no issue with this, to be honest. 360 view cam, the alarms and alerts, it's all here so you can reverse the car without an issue, just like so. Not making this up, I am new to this city, so I don't know anything about this place. I am just driving around, test driving this car. After all, we are on this bumpy road now, right? So for the first time ever, implemented on this car is the baby mode. I actually have a whole video about that. Definitely refer to that and check that video out. Just have activated the baby mode like I have showed you. So change your drive mode, Eco, Sport, and My Drive. You can go into the settings, or if that doesn't pop up, just go into your settings, vehicle and drive mode. You will see this baby mode right here. Please give it a try and test it out. And I think we are also completely stuck on here. Look at this. I am going into this random parking lot. Tucson being, it's not the smallest car you can get from Hyundai cars. That is, well, I am talking about Korean market. Smallest Hyundai SUV you can get is Kona, and next up is Tucson. So it's not the smallest SUV, however, not the largest SUV either. So it is relatively easy for you to maneuver around and just drive through the cities. Pleasant, easy to drive around, back on the large main streets. When it's at a full tank, I believe this car is, you can drive 700 kilometers easy. That is also the reading I have on Kia Sportage Hybrid I am test driving. 720 kilometers of driving distance possible at a full tank of Tucson hybrids. So let me quickly recap that baby mode once again. It's only hybrid explicit tech and feature that you cannot get on gasoline because it utilizes the motor to control the movement of the vehicle. And especially when you go over a speed bump, it reduces a lot of pitching movement, which is up and down movement of a vehicle. So it almost just feels like that I have ECS, electronically controlled suspension. However, the car does not come with ECS, just so you know. So it is static, meaning the suspension setup cannot be changed electronically. However, the motor aiding, it really feels like that I have ECS going into different drive modes when activating that baby mode. I want to come back to the original idea and want to address you the differences of this car versus the Sportage. It feels very similar, if not the same. Oh, however, one thing I want to mention and have noticed is definitely that flag type glass, meaning another glass out this window, being able to see and have more visibility looking out that way, both the driver's seat and the passenger seat. It's not just in Sportage's favor being able to provide more visibility out that way, because I do feel that Tucson's visibility actually stretches out further than Sportage for the obvious reason and due to the nature being. So if you actually really do compare the blind spot of the Tucson and Sportage, I don't think they're going to differ by all that much. However, the continuation of where the blind spot is certainly longer than Sportage, because Sportage certainly provides an extra space and extra visibility out that way, having that flag type glass, whereas Tucson cannot. So essentially from this view that you're seeing here, the blind spot created from the start of this portion all the way up to the end of the A-pillar is the range of the blind spot that this Tucson has over Sportage. I would personally prefer Sportages over this one, which is something that I've been saying to all of the cars with the flag type glasses. And the car being, of course, it is also dual laminated acoustic glasses on the first row, and you can probably hear the difference and how great the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness it is on both of the cars. Drop in the comment below which one you personally prefer watching today's video and also videos. So definitely operating the HVAC is different. I wouldn't really say which one is preferable, but as far as the design is concerned, I will give it to Sportage because it is much more sleek, having it all on that horizontal little tiny bar, using both HVAC and navigations and so forth. Whereas Tucson's, although it's a bit more bulky, there is an individual button for each individual feature and function. And with the baby mode, the drive mode would not allow sudden acceleration, but would keep everything very moderate. So going up hills and down hills through the cities and so forth. Let me just show it to you here. So press on the gas pedal. You see? The car would actually go very gentle and slowly, just like this. So let's stop on an uphill. Does not struggle even on an uphill like this, extreme uphill like this. So very, very pleasant. This time I actually want to set the regen brake at the strongest. All right, there we go. So set the regen brake at the strongest, and that baby mode is working beautifully. Crazy downhill, wow. I love it. I love it. The test drive has never been this much fun. All right, so honestly speaking, I'll give it to you. Both of the cars having the baby mode, essentially sharing the same thing altogether. I wouldn't really necessarily say that one is superior over the other. So I think it would boil down to your preference of having Kia car versus Hyundai or the other way around, and maybe your local dealerships. But certainly there is a huge factor when it comes to the design, the exterior look of each car. One might favor Tucson over Sportage and the other way around, and I do have the back-to-back exterior review coverage of Tucson and Sportage on the channel as well, so feel free to check that out. I don't want to miss a thing when it comes to Sportage and Tucson because I know they are the best-selling cars from each brand. A lot of people are waiting on these two cars. And the winner here in Korea when it comes to the number of sales has always been Sportage over Tucson, and the other way around for North America. So we'll see if that is going to change with these two latest facelift cars from each brand. So drop in the comment below what is your pick, and also things that you are curious about. I will definitely try my best to answer you and deliver you the information that you are looking for between these two cars. Your number one source of KDM Korea domestic cars and all the latest Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I mean, there's gotta be something that is completely different. I honestly can't find any. The wide panoramic sunroof, the second row inclination and declination is the same. Oh, maybe the interior color. I don't think there is this bright interior color with Kia Sportage Hybrid. I really can't find any. You guys tell me, let me know in the comment below if there is any. I really can't find one. Except for the look, the exterior. What is your personal preference and pick when it comes to the looks of these two cars? So that really is it. Bye-bye. 2026 Kia Sportage facelift, or PE to be precise, in 2026 Hyundai Tucson facelift. Oh, and FYI, both of the cars are HEV hybrid models.